Welcome to Venue Marketing 101, a free educational video series for eventtechs powered by Snappening, an event technology company helping you find places to host parties and the pros that plan them, and the Venue Marketing Society, an online community dedicated to answering real venue owners and managers about their daily marketing challenges. Well, hi there. I'm your host, Crystal Grave, the founder, president, and CEO of Snappening, and I'm also the author of the industry's ultimate guide to venue marketing, How to Market an Event Venue, a free downloadable guide to marketing venues from scratch with more than 300 pages of useful tips, ideas, stories, and real-life examples to immediately supercharge any venue's marketing plan. Feel free to connect with me on Twitter and a host of other places if you'd like. I'd love to hear from you. Hey everybody, we're back again this week with our Venue Marketing 101 video series. Just in case you missed episode 1, I want to suggest you give that a quick listen first and then catch up to any of these future episodes. Episode 1 really sets the tone for our discussions about venue discoverability. It helps define the venue discoverability model, and it highlights the 5 steps we're going to showcase over the course of a year with each episode in the series. In other words, episode 1 really helps all these other episodes make a lot more sense. You don't need to watch them all in order to get something out of them, but doing so may help some viewers plan their marketing strategies a little better. And we'd be doing you no favors if we didn't make a video series with something extra in the value department, right? Something you can use right now and see immediate results. That's where our individual episodes featuring more than 50 solid venue marketing ideas come into play. Each video gives you a few nuggets of solid marketing advice that's been tailored specifically for venue owners and managers. Some little aha or oh right idea that you can easily incorporate into your daily routine. So please feel free to join us weekly right here on our YouTube channel as we explore this topic all year long and add value to your week. Hey there, and welcome to today's episode number 12, all about livening it up on LinkedIn. LinkedIn might be one of the most important tools in increasing your corporate business and referral network. So let's get started in talking about just how. Just a quick reminder about where we are in this video series. Right now we're focused on 11 ideas for Circle 1, in-person influence. You can see that here in the upper left corner. This is our nucleus of influence, and it makes sense as the best place for us to start, because if we grow this area, we're also going to grow our overall venue discoverability. We're going through our first 11 ideas related to in-person influence right now. After we finish this section, we'll move on to the next circles later in the series. If you're securing any corporate or meeting planner business, chances are you're spending a significant amount of time doing some sleuthing on LinkedIn. And there's a good reason to do so. LinkedIn now has over 500 million members, with 260 million of those users logging in at least once a month. Of this pool of users, 61 million are senior level influencers and another 40 million are in decision-making positions. That's a whole lot of folks seeing your updates about whatever you're adding to their feed if you've grown your LinkedIn presence carefully. In today's episode, we're going to explain why LinkedIn matters so much, where you can invest your time and attention on LinkedIn for the biggest results, and how to do some pro-level engagement techniques to boost your venue discoverability. Since Microsoft's purchase of LinkedIn last year, they've worked hard to try and grow their user base towards the 3 billion mark. That's something they're still working on today. This means that we've seen the two tech giants start to integrate more, and we've seen LinkedIn work hard to become more of a B2B content hub, especially for business influencer news. Probably the most important thing about LinkedIn as a venue owner or manager is catching someone on the fly, and not in an overly salesy way. It has its benefits. It's an awesome way to share news, tell stories, and showcase your ability to keep your finger on the pulse of what's happening in your city and in the worldwide event community. Because so many business influencers are on LinkedIn, it's a great chance to sort of skip to the front of the line in connecting with the right people. Now, before you set off to the races to do all this cool stuff we're going to talk about, you'd be well served to spend a little time just making sure what you're putting out on LinkedIn actually is helping you with your venue discoverability and network influence building goals. I came across an awesome article about beefing up your profile section by section, which I feel is written a lot better than the rest I've seen online. So don't panic while you listen to this. We've included a link to this article in the video description, and you can check out all this stuff one section at a time as you work your way through your own profile. I'm not going to go over every single little detail on this slide because some sections are more advanced in my opinion, but you should certainly read this article carefully and make any necessary changes to your own listing. First, let's start with your introduction on LinkedIn. You get about 120 characters in that professional headline to say something about yourself, so make it count. If you want, you could come back to this at the end after perhaps you've done a more complete picture and then know better what you want to say here. Next, let's talk about headshots. Get a grown-up photo taken. It's just way too distracting, and not in a good way, when you have a goofy or blurry photo. Name and position. Don't do something cute here. Be exacting so people know they've found the right person. It's especially hard to network with you if you've got a funny photo or none at all, or you've used something out of the ordinary on your name, title, and position in company. This is one of those places where being precise actually really helps you a lot. Make sure you've added your education and how you'd like your industry information to appear. A lot of this actually helps LinkedIn serve up other suggested contacts to you, and it's helpful for other people to find you too this way. Be certain you use the existing school and industry links so that you're not creating a duplicate accidentally. Finally, make sure your experience section is as complete as possible, and again, try to be certain you're connecting to the right company links so others can find you at the same place. This is at least half of LinkedIn's magic, finding the right person at the right company, you included. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. What in the heck am I going to do all this stuff you keep suggesting to me? And that's a fair question. It's part of the reason you have to decide which of these marketing tactics makes the most sense for you and create a plan. And that's my first piece of advice here. Come up with a daily plan for LinkedIn that works for you. Your plan may just be seeing what people are posting and engaging with those posts. Or it may be adding one new person to your network every couple of days. Or it may be sharing an article or a photo. Whatever it is, stick with it and set a time limit for yourself. I'd say warming up with 5 to 10 minutes a day is a good start. This would allow you to get used to the hum and the rhythm of LinkedIn before you commit to any larger plans. I believe the most high value opportunities come from joining groups, looking to see what your connections are sharing, and picking some large global influencers to follow. I tend to follow a lot of people in tech and some powerful women business owners, but you may have other influencers that make more sense for you, and these stories will shape what you have to share with your own audiences on the network too. Sharing local news stories is also a lot of fun because you can tag people and the businesses in your network, and that increases engagements on your post. Remember to praise often. It only takes a second to congratulate a colleague, a client, or a prospect. I love this when friends have won awards and I make those posts public so others can see the celebration too. And if you've taken our advice seriously in the last few episodes about networking, you should be getting more juice by now in your LinkedIn feed to have more content to work with as you're making new pals. The most important thing is to really try and add value to your audience. So I tend to share things that I think that they will enjoy reading, but not a lot of memes or quotes or things of that nature on this platform. I already see a lot of other people doing this, so I don't see how it would stand out now or add a lot of business value, quite frankly. Okay, so some of these tips I'm going to share now are going to be more obvious for some of you than others, and that's completely fine. These are the things that I find universally help the most people and make the biggest difference the fastest, so please just take what works here for you. First, if you really want to get better with LinkedIn, go ahead and download the app. It's just far easier to use, and you'll recall that some of our business card scanner tools help you connect with LinkedIn profiles automatically, so having the app handy is just a huge time saver. You also want to focus on a few other profile bits I skipped earlier. These include beefing up your summary section. Speak in first person and make it fun. This is where you get to have some personality with what you're sharing and what people see about you. If you have any media to share, make sure it's in your media section, and also make sure you take the time to fill out all your featured skills and round up some endorsements. You can get endorsements for skills, like at the individual skill level, but I think it's also good to have some solid references posted too. I suggest having 3 to 5 of these at least. While LinkedIn has a bunch of users, only a small fraction of them are sharing content weekly. In fact, it's right around 1% actually. So that means you have a really strong chance to have whatever you share be seen by a lot of people in your feed. And that stands out. And know that about 87 million millennials are on LinkedIn. So if you're recruiting at all, this is the obvious best place to make those posts. In addition to getting your profile humming and becoming a strategic sharer, as you grow, consider adding your own content on LinkedIn too. Now here's the kicker. You have to be invited by LinkedIn to be allowed to author content, and you can't bug them to get an invite. They have to just decide one day you're worthy, and then all of a sudden it shows up. There are about 500 influencers on LinkedIn, but there are several 100,000 industry experts, including moi. So no, I'm not talking about you becoming Richard Branson or Gary Vee. I'm talking about getting the cool nod from LinkedIn to author content. And why they keep their secrets close to the vest on this program. From what I can tell, they offer this authorship tool to people who use the tool often, have more than 1,000 connections, and seem deeply networked. Life goals, right? Finally, I suggest you download your LinkedIn contacts on a periodic basis. Say maybe every 3 to 12 months, depending on how quickly you're growing your network and adding them. Most people don't know they can do this, but you can. And those contact lists may prove helpful for other marketing goals. The article we mentioned earlier has detailed instructions about how you can complete the download, so I'm not going to go into that here. You can look at that online. Are you ready to spend some time on LinkedIn and liven up your presence on this channel? Hopefully you feel armed with a bunch of cool ideas to make your profile pop, add cool content to your feed, and start building your network even more. In episode 13, our last for this first circle of influence, we're going to talk about having growth goals. It doesn't matter if you have 10, 50, 100, or 5,000 clients or prospects, there's always room to grow. But to grow, you've got to have a plan, preferably one that works. You've got to measure the goal, and you've got to adjust for real life when it wallops you on the head and gets in the way of your well-laid plan. And that's exactly what we're going to talk about next time, so I hope you'll join us again. If you've enjoyed this video and thought to yourself, you know what, it would be mighty handy to have some more content like this, and some people to talk to on a regular basis about my venue, and somewhere to ask questions right as I think of them, well then, I have just the place for you. Pop on over to Facebook and visit facebook.com/groups, Venue Marketing Society, no spaces, and connect with us now. We have daily prompts about venue marketing ideas, real challenges people are facing, and other cool things we're finding online. We've also included a link to our group down in the video description here on YouTube to save you a step. I've also mentioned our free downloadable ebook a couple of times in the video, and in case you'd like more learning like this, but want to take it at your own pace and snag a copy of your own, you can grab this link and get the book down in the summary for the video, or you can head over to the blog post mentioned on the screen. Just complete the download form on the blog and poof, you're all set. You'll also receive more exclusive content when you sign up for the ebook that will help you with your learning over the next several weeks. We'd love to socialize with you. Join us online in any of the channels you see here. It'll be great to chat with you. The Venue Marketing 101 video series is created, produced, and licensed by Snappening. We extend our thanks to our production team and the artists who have helped contribute to the work showcased in this video. That's all for today's episode. We look forward to having you join us for the next one right here on our YouTube channel. Your likes and comments on this video help guide our team's future content roadmap, so share the love below if we're helping you in your venue marketing journey, and let us know how we could help you even more in the future. If you'd like to be notified about episodes as soon as they're released, consider subscribing to our YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/snappening.